Before any structure was ever made for crossing at the Spring River at this site, this general location was used to ford the river because the water was shallow enough to get a good footing for wading, or in a vehicle that was able to get its wheels wet. This place later became known as the Humphries Ford. It is uncertain when this general location was first called by that name. But in the 1890s, Miss Meta Clark wrote in her diary about crossing the river at Humphries Ford in a horse-drawn wagon. In those days, people were also arriving in Hardy by train. Like Meta's family, they came seeking new land in Hardy. Meta's family found a place and eventually bought a farm on land that is now covered by Lake Thunderbird in Cherokee Village. Camp Curl was located over there behind us, and Mr. John Curl married Pearl Darty, and they had Camp Curl for many, many years. Pearl was the mother of Lois Carroll, who owned and operated the camp after her parents. Lois is one of the bathing beauties on the banner that is posted in downtown Hardy on Main Street, which was taken at the Humphries Ford in the 1940s for a feature in the National Geographic magazine when they were promoting the Ozarks. Starting back when wooden canoes were being used, folks enjoyed paddling downstream from here to Hardy Beach, going downstream that way, that is now known as Buford Beach. People enjoyed their tent camping and cookouts along the river at Camp Curl for many, many years. Today, we are bringing this opportunity back to light with better means of transportation by way of a bridge. A new bridge that we're standing on today. This one's a good one. Another story about crossing the river here happened when Berta Darty was going to work at the one-room schoolhouse that was known as the Baker's School. Berta was being taken to her first day of teaching on the other side of this river by her brother, Hubert Darty, on a horse-drawn wagon on a day when the river was much higher than it is today. Berta felt frightful with swift water getting higher and higher and higher. Herbert kept exclaiming, "Hold on, Berta! Hold on, Berta!" They managed to get across the river that day, and Berta was able to start her teaching career on this same day. She changed the lives of many children by teaching at the Baker School. She later married Mr. Tom Walker, and Miss Berta Walker became then the 4th grade teacher at Hardy School in town. The Walkers resided at the old Rock House, where Words and Afterwards Coffee House and Bookstore was located in town. That property is on the National Register, by the way, for its historic relevance to the establishment of Hardy. Hubert Darty, the man who we can all thank for getting Berta across the river to establish her teaching career, ran the Hardy Mercantile, located today where the Clearwater Corner Shop sits on Spring and Main Streets in town. In subsequent generations that Mr. Evans filled me in earlier before this presentation, the cement low-water bridge that we have relied upon for over a century was erected, and people began driving cars with rubber tires then. Crossing that bridge was easier, yet it was still uncomfortable for many people who considered the bridge to be too narrow. In the early days of the narrow low-water bridge, fewer people lived in that area, and traffic was very light, especially at nighttime. Driving just to the middle of the low-water bridge and coming to a stop became a place to spend a romantic evening with your partner. Hopefully, we don't have that scenario on the new bridge. Here, couples could enjoy the sights and sounds of the river on special nights when the moon was out, seeing the light reflecting on the water and hearing its ripple just outside the car window. It made that evening much more enjoyable. Humphries Ford at the end of Bluff Road that you all traveled on today will also be remembered as a favorite put-in location for paddlers that are going downstream to enjoy the beautiful Spring River, as it winds its way downstream below the scenic lookout at Biggers Bluff, then on the way into Hardytown. As you can all see, this geographic location has been crucial to the development of this part of north central Arkansas for well over 130 years. Today, we gather to commemorate this moment and dedicate this new Spring River Bridge to our communities and we make a promise to ourselves that we will continue to strive to make Sharp and Fulton counties a better place to call home.